This meeting is now being recorded.
Hello, everyone. My name is Adrian San Miguel. I'm the Career Guidance and Transition Coordinator for Idaho Career and Technical Education. Today, I just want to explore a little bit more in detail about the Transition Coordinator model as one of the options under the College and Career Advising Program. This webinar will focus on an overview of the model to get just a good understanding of the structure and the focus of transition coordinators. We will explore examples of the transition coordinator model to look firsthand at the success and positive impact it's currently having. We will also go over stakeholders needed to achieve success, so making sure that you have the right individuals to support this model. We will discuss implementation steps to adopt the transition coordinators in your district, opportunities for professional development and training that are available initially and ongoing. We'll also look at performance measures on capturing data and reporting the effectiveness of this model, cost structure and considerations to financially support the model, and then finally, who to contact and the next steps that you can take if this model is something that your district would like to explore and adopt. So just what are transition coordinators? In partnership with a post-secondary institution, transition coordinators work with high school counselors, but also students and parents. They are an additional resource for counselors and schools to really expand that college and career advising and that Go On initiative. They help students make informed decisions about their educational and, of course, the end goal, which is their career plans. They also prepare for success in post-secondary education by spending a great deal of time in the high schools they serve, really promoting contact with students on a regular basis to encourage and support the transition to some sort of post-secondary education. So some of the services that the transition coordinators provide are career exploration, resume building, research, college and universities, FAFSA and scholarship assistance, helping them with the college application process. Focus has been, in the past couple of years, really on advanced opportunities, the dual credit and technical competency credit, and really understanding and utilizing those fast-forward funds. Facilitate college visitations, as we know, is an important part of looking at finding the right fit for students, and really connecting with parents, so looking at the parental outreach, and most importantly, again, just creating and maintaining that college engagement. So some of the benefits of the transition coordinator model are that it can really serve multiple school districts and multiple schools, aggregating funds that might not be sufficient for a district to really accomplish the same goals and kind of work together. Transition coordinators will have direct access to and professional development at their employing institution, but also Idaho Career and Technical Education will be a part of that in providing resources as well as resources available through those post-secondary institutions. And of course, the scalability piece of it. Focus can begin with high school juniors and seniors, and then really move down to middle and high school students to provide support for goal setting and leveraging advanced opportunities. So I'd like to highlight a region that is currently using the transition coordinator model. It is an effective example of the success of the model and its reach in the Magic Valley. So the goals of the CSI Transition Coordinator are really to empower students to make, like I said, those informed decisions about their educational and career plans. But really, one of the great things about the CSI Transition Coordinators and that model is really looking at identifying the student and school needs in consultation with high school and college administration and counseling. So really looking at developing and implementing services to address those needs and to serve as those career pathway specialists. CSI transition coordinators work in area high schools during the academic year and on college campuses during summer months. Transition coordinators, to quote a Gooding High School junior, jump-started my post-secondary opportunities with information, including scholarships, admissions, and educational workshops. So this student really had a strong interest in engineering, and the transition coordinator provided those opportunities for the student to connect in that interest and look at their post-secondary education as well as workshops and ways to connect with that interest. So CSI currently has 4 transition coordinators that serve 13 high schools across 9 districts. You can see the collaboration spread throughout the Magic Valley here. In addition to the CSI transition coordinators, Idaho Career and Technical Education supports 6 regional CTE transition coordinators that have providing assistance to high school students for many years specific to the transition between secondary and post-secondary technical college programs. A benefit and success is that they have established relationships with local districts and their career and technical programs to really promote those advanced opportunities and that career exploration. And as you can see here, the CSI or CTE transition coordinators can be found in our 6 technical colleges throughout the state. So in order for any model to be adopted, key stakeholders need to be considered not only to help implement the model initially, but to sustain and grow the model in the future. So that really first starts out with your regional post-secondary institution. Because this will be a partnership with a local post-secondary college and also an employee of that institution, this will be an initial stakeholder and critical to implementing the model. Administrators and neighboring school districts. So smaller districts may consider working together and combining those college and career advising funding resources to establish the transition model. And administrators in your districts will need to understand and provide guidance for the model and how they will be incorporated in their operations and work with counselors on a daily basis. Counselors, of course, are integral to this process as they are going to be helping to support the transition coordinators. We're looking at planning together to collaborate and look at opportunities to work together, presentations, campus visits, industry tours, FAFSA nights, looking at the scope of the year and how they can plan and work together, and also keeping in mind those performance measures. Of course, parents and students. So looking at educating parents in your district and students, of course, about these transition coordinators, really creating opportunities for those students to meet weekly and communicate with parents regularly, whether it's a parent, college, or FAFSA completion nights. And of course, industry. As career is the ultimate end goal through some sort of post-secondary education and training, looking at opportunities to bridge your regional industries, connecting them with transition coordinators and information and opportunities to share. So whether that might be industry visits, industry presentations, or just information and opportunities that they can expand on, really sparking that passion and awareness of all the options they may not know about right in their backyard. So implementation steps, planning meetings. Of course, a planning meeting will have to happen in order to provide regional post-secondary institutions and participating school districts the opportunity to finalize the job description, prioritize activities, and really determine the schedule, what that's going to look like. This process will allow for collaboration so that the school district needs and expectations are being met. School districts using this model will be aggregated with other nearby schools or school districts, and the coordinator will be assigned specifically for those districts. Some implementation considerations is looking at a team to discuss program implementation, supporting the transition coordinator, and staff and program activities, just to be in the loop of everything that is happening. Teams could be comprised of an administrator, counselor, teacher, to really provide feedback, ways to provide feedback and continuous improvement, and of course to keeping those performance measures in mind. So transition coordinators should receive in-person training with the post-secondary college on the best practices for implementing services and activities. School districts will also help identify district, school, and student needs. New transition coordinators will be connected with existing transition coordinators to discuss implementation, best practices, and really brainstorm new ideas. Additional recommended professional development options would definitely include Idaho Career and Technical Education Professional Development Conference, or summer conference as it's been known. Idaho School Counseling Association Conference in the fall, IDLA utilizing their comprehensive counselor training, Advanced Opportunities Conference, as well as the fall career development workshops with Career Information Systems and the Department of Labor. So as I mentioned earlier, school districts and charter schools using funds provided through the College and Career Advising allocation will be required to report on the effectiveness of their program. Performance measures must align to the requirements of Idaho Code. Measures may vary depending on students served and could include the following. So these are just some of those measures that might be incorporated. So that go-on rate, looking at in-state, out-of-state, or workforce training, positive placement, advanced opportunities, FAFSA completion, college application completion rates, college and career completion rates, annual reviews of student learning plan, scholarship completion rates, as well as post-secondary enrollment rates. And so looking at the cost structure, the total cost structure for an FTE for a transition coordinator is estimated between $60,000 to $75,000 annually, which does include salaries, benefits, travel, and supplies. So the range accounts for geographic area that the coordinator would cover. So looking at the frequency of the visits, the number of schools, the distance, could really impact the travel budget and the travel that's required. Also looking at a 10-month contract versus a 12-month contract, there are some coordinators that are at a 10-month contract, others are a full year, so those are considerations to keep in mind as well. So districts that are interested in the transition coordinator model should contact the regional post-secondary institutions that are listed below. Highlighted was the College of Southern Idaho in their CSI transition coordinator model, but we have a list of all 6 of our technical colleges as well. And so I want to thank you again today for watching this webinar on the transition coordinator model, an effective model under the College and Career Advising Program. Idaho CTE, as well as our 6 technical college teams, are ready to work with you on developing and implementing this model. Thank you. The TCs don't work.